Hello, rectangular video. Today we're going to take a look at the Love Cup. Sadly, I'm going to be away for the weekend, so there won't be as many Love Cup battles as I want to showcase, but there's still going to be some on my channel. So leave a like on the video if you enjoy the Love Cup, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. But let's go right into the meta. We're going to have 8 top teams later on with several different options as well for it, as you know it from my videos. Anyway, we're going to see here the meta going to be MEweedle on the first rank, having a different moveset that you're usually used to. We're going to have Power Up Punch this time around and not Ice Punch. We have Charizard as a second one here, which is going to be a very strong Pokemon that only really gets beaten by like Mechago, I guess, and water types, and like the few electric types that are available, which only instantly like 1 or 2 Pokemon. Then we're going to have the Lickitung as a third, and you're going to basically face a lot of teams that are based around those 3 Pokemon. Those are the strongest ones, and afterwards it goes down. But the cool thing in this meta is there are a lot of Pokemon that really break the core there in the lead, like they really break the core between MEweedle and Charizard, or also Lickitung. So there are going to be a lot of cool options. Otherwise, here we're going to have Ariados, which is actually really underrated. Like, it's a very, very strong Pokemon. Seaking will be an insane Say-Swap. There are not really a lot of Pokemon that can deal with Seaking. If you just take a look at this here, like, most Pokemon kind of die to it, or like kind of don't have a very good matchup there. Lurantis most likely a little bit overrated, but still going to be very, very decent to play. Scrafty going to be tricky to play, especially with the Charizard around right now. Charm got nerfed, so less Charm users. Chansey is still going to be very strong though, just because of the bulk. Otherwise, a lot of cool Say-Swaps here, which is something that I really like to see. Hysterian Electrode going to be a good Say-Swap, the normal Electrode going to be a good Say-Swap, Miltank going to be really good actually in this meta. I would recommend you Miltank as well. Don't have a team for this one, but it will be cool to beat Charizard, plus as well Lickitung you would beat, or the Ariados you would beat, or even water types you would beat. So definitely take a look at the Miltank as well. Slowbro, the Galarian version, going to be also a very good Say-Swap in this meta. There are basically next to no ground types available, I feel like. There's like Camerupt, which is available, but also not really that good. So electric types are really, really strong right now, which really is nice there. And also like poison types can work out again here. I like this Slowbro. But yeah, let's go right into the teams. The first team here going to be basically the team that you're going to face all the time. Like here we're going to have Charizard in the lead, we're going to have the Say-Swap of the Lickitung, and we're going to have the MEweedle in the back. You could also flip it. You could have the MEweedle in the lead, the Lickitung as a Say-Swap, and the Charizard in the back. It doesn't really matter too much there. I feel like this is a little bit easier because you might be able to sweep endgame with Power Punch or MEweedle. The thing is, for Lickitung in this meta, basically every time you see a team with Lickitung, usually you should also be able to use Electrode instead. Electrode is like typing wise completely different, the move coverage completely different, but both of them are good against water types, which is already a good thing for this cup. Like we have Power on the Lickitung, you have like Discharge on the Electrode, and both of them are really neutral because for Electrode there are no ground types available really in this cup, so it's very safe to use and very good to use right now as well. So this should help you out a lot. You can also use Chansey in the back here instead, which is definitely more of a toxic version, but actually Chansey looks still very good even after the nerf. The next team is also kind of all about trying to support the MEweedle in the back here. We're going to have the lead of Mechago. You can actually use also Incinerate for this version here. It really depends on what you want to run. Some teams it's really necessary to run Rock Throw on it. Here it really depends on what you want to face and what you want to beat with it. Both are fine. I think Incinerate is more fine if you would use the Slowbro as a Say-Swap. If you use the Ariados as a Say-Swap, I would rather go for a Rock Throw. But at the end of the day, both are really fine there. Really depends on what you want to do here. Here, Ariados or Slowbro, very good Say-Swap. Both are fine against fighting type Pokemon, which is your main issue. And then you have the best fighting type Pokemon yourself in the back. Also, your Say-Swap will guarantee get you out a Flyer there as well, because like you have the best answer 4 Flyers in the lead. So you're most likely going to get out something like the Charizard with the Ariados, which you can actually still do a lot of damage with the Poison Sting there plus the Cross Poison. So it's actually a pretty decent matchup for Ariados, which is kind of weird. The next team here going to be around a double water backline. For double water backline, of course, you need something that can beat grass in the lead. There we're going to have the Charizard, which of course is very good for grass. We're going to have the Lurantis, which is going to be also very decent for that. Or we have the Wormadam. The thing is, with Charizard, you're better against grass type Pokemon. With Lurantis, you're better against something like an Electrode, which is also stuff in the meta there. So like that might be pretty decent for it as well. And Wormadam is just the most bulkiest Pokemon of them all. It's an XL Pokemon that you kinda need a good one for as well. Very, very bulky. Of course, a little bit tricky against like Fire-type Pokemon there, like Magcargo, but you still have 2 Water types in the back, so it should be fine. So if I would want to choose one, I actually would guess I would go for the Wormadam, just because it's so bulky and it basically fits for every slot that you really want here. But otherwise, the other 2 are also decent depending on what you face. Again, Electrode can be a little bit tricky with double water backline, and if you don't run Lurantis in the lead, but still, should be a decent team. For a little bit more fun here, we're going to actually have a triple bug team that you can run. You're going to have the SmackDown version of Crustle in the lead, which is going to be an interesting one, because you have a lot of Pokemon that are weak to those rock-type moves, and we're going to also have an alternative of Alomomola for those fire types, which you definitely don't want to face with those bug types in the back there. Sayswap here, of course, going to be the Ariados, being able to debuff the opponent potentially, and unless you face something like Magcargo, you're actually pretty decent with that. And in general, you bait out potential fire types anyway there that you can then hopefully avoid with your Pokemon in the back. Double fire in the back, of course, would be difficult for this, but I mean, there's every time a hard counter line to some teams, so still, I think that's a funny team that you can run as well. Crustle, definitely a cool tech move there. The next team you already most likely saw on my channel before. This is going to be the team that I already showcased like 6 hours prior. It's a very strong team. Like, check out the video if you want to see some gameplay before the cup starts as well. We're going to have the Wigglytuff in the lead. We're going to have the Sayswap here of the Lickitung and also potentially the Electrode. Electrode might be even a little bit better than Lickitung, but it really depends. Like, it's not really a clear matchup here. And then we're going to have the Rock Throw version. It has to be Rock Throw for the Magcargo in the back, because Rock Throw is the best way to deal with other Magcargos. Basically, if you don't have that, your lead going to suffer with it, your Sayswap won't be as good with it, and your Pokemon in the back also won't be as good for it. So just for the mirror alone, you already need Rock Throw here, like it's mandatory in my opinion. But this is most likely one, or if not the best team that you can run right now as well. It just counters a lot of the meta right now. It's very, very strong for the meta, and it has a lot of options. It's very, very easy and flexible to use. Ariados in the lead. I'm actually not too sure about this Pokemon here, but it still should be actually fine. Like, on paper, it looks very decent, so should be a very decent team to use. Next is going to be a double fire team, which can actually work out pretty well right now. The thing is, you need something in the lead that is pretty decent against, water types especially, but also can still deal with something at least against Magcargo. I expect Magcargo to use mainly their move Rock Throw here, so something like Lurantis with the the move Superpower might be really decent. But also, you have the option to go for Wild Charge just with the Hisuian Electrode here, being able to just dip out of there then. But it's going to be an interesting one there. I would use the Charizard as a Sayswap here for sure. It's a little bit of a trickier one. I don't really think it's going to be too crazy good though, but I thought it would be a funny one to introduce. Let's go into the next one. Next team coming up here, we're going to have the lead of a water type, either like the Alomomola or the, actually also a very decent one, Milotic here. Milotic is kind of underrated. We're going to have the Sayswap again, either the Electrode or the Lickitung. Lickitung would be preferred here because it's more likely to get out a potential fire type, which you really want to do here with the 2 Pokemon that you have in the back. Basically decent answers against the fighting type boys, as well as just in general a very bulky Pokemon, but both of them don't really want to face up against fire type Pokemon, so trying to have something in the lead that completely directs fire type Pokemon, trying to have something in the Sayswap that is still decent against it, but kind of baits them out, and then have something in the back that completely gets wrecked by him. Very decent team here, definitely something that should work out really, really well right now. The final team here going to be around the core breaker that I kind of want to keep for those people that actually watched till the last team here. It's going to be Slowbro. Just a standard Slowbro. Slowbro has access to the move Water Gun, which will hit Charizard very hard. It has still a very decent typing that will completely resist all the moves from the Machamp, while still dealing not super effective damage, but still dealing decent damage with Water Gun there. Like, this Pokemon with Water Gun can farm down Charizard, can farm down Magcargo, is very good against the Machamp, so the likelihood of hitting a very good lead with this Pokemon is extremely high. You're a little bit weak against grass-type Pokemon or like something like Ariados, therefore we have the Fire Flying Boys in the back, and we have just a normal standard Sayswap here with the Lickitung or the Electrode, so let me know in the comment section, what team are you looking forward to use? Are you looking forward to play the Love Cup in general? I feel like this is going to be a very good meta. Like, not gonna lie, it doesn't seem to be super RPS because there are a lot of core breaker for this meta. So I feel like it's going to be a very good cup. Just my feeling here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like on it, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.